everybody, and thank you for joining the session. I'm sorry not to be with you. It would have been definitely better to meet face to face. I'm going to tell you about the EUreka3D initiative, where we are contributing to transforming the digital cultural heritage with the advent of 3D and the exploitation of XR experiences. As just a second. Okay. The EUreka3D initiative is made of two projects. We started in January 2023 with the project named EUreka3D that lasted 2 years and delivered successful results at the end of 2024. We started again with the EUreka3D-XR in February this year, and we will run until July 2026. They are two projects co-funded by the EU under the Digital Europe program that support the implementation of the common European data space for cultural heritage that is known also as Europeana. Basically, we wanted to address the whole value chain of digitization, from the actual digitization, the actual capture of the digital formats of cultural heritage, in particular 3D, through the delivery of the results of the digitization on the cloud, and eventually the access to what has been stored on the cloud for different purposes. The interaction with the digital content, the download of data for reuse, the e-archiving for further application, and the sharing of the data on EOSC. In order to do this, there are different aspects of the problem to be addressed, from creating to sharing and valuing high-quality 3D cultural collections. Considering, first of all, that it is not only the geometric representation of the 3D, it is much, much more. So there is a question of equality in geometric representation, but not only. There is a question of infrastructure where the digitization of a cultural heritage is stored and made accessible. There is a question of aggregation of collections, because individual objects, in particular in the cultural heritage sector, have not a full meaning. It is necessary to aggregate and to share the data into larger data sets, the reuse, and the delivery of competence to the sector that is not yet fully skilled for addressing the complexity of 3D and XR. We started with the two pillars. On one side, the cloud, on the other side, the quality of digitization. For the quality of digitization, we are based on the study on equality in 3D digitization of tangible cultural heritage that has been developed by Cyprus University of Technology under a tender of the European Union. The full results of the study have been adopted by EUreka3D and promoted through its center of competence. There is in particular a step-to-step guideline for 3D digitization of a cultural heritage that is worth to download and to look at. What is much relevant probably for the conference of today is the EUreka3D Data Hub that is powered by EGI, partner of EUreka3D and EUreka3D-XR, that is a cloud-based service to store, preserve, manage, share data, metadata, and paradata, whatever it is generated during the 3D digitization. It includes European-based storage facilities, because the shared usage of other solutions that are using American cloud are not what is needed, in particular for the cultural heritage sector that is so much rich in Europe. We are reusing the EGI login for authentication and authorization in order to use the same infrastructure and to benefit of the federated solution. We are implementing in the EUreka3D Data Hub a permanent identification of the digital objects. There is a visualization tool that is based on the adaptation of open source solution, and the Data Hub is fully integrated and compatible with the common European data space for cultural heritage European. In EUreka3D-XR, we added the XR dimension, where we are developing 5 tools that are open access and open source to transform cultural contents, 3D mainly, but also 2D, video, text, maps, stories, into scenarios for extended reality. The details of the project are below in the slide. And the slide can be shared through the channels of the EGI Conference. The 5 tools are enabling the generation of augmented reality experiences in an archaeological site, in particular for the scenario, and the builder of the augmented reality tool. So the experience and the building of the tool. Then we have other 2 tools. One is to build through the use of AI portion of cultural heritage that do not exist anymore, and to mix the recreated objects through AI by reusing archival contents together with physical 3D representation of the cultural heritage, and a studio where these recreated objects through the reuse of archival information with 3D representation of physical objects are delivered. Okay, so in EUreka3D we developed the Data Hub and we promoted the study on high quality 3D digitization. In EUreka3D-XR we are developing 5 tools for the reuse of what has been digitized and stored in the Data Hub, in augmented reality experiences, in experiences where reconstructed objects that do not exist anymore through AI applied to archival data are mixed with the 3D representation of what is still existing. And then an AI-based application that extrapolates from frescoes, from paintings, characters, and they are built as animated and speaking avatars to tell the story of the painting. Do you hear now? I see you.
Yeah. We continue to hear you. Don't worry.
Okay. So the 5 tools are used into 3 scenarios. The first scenario is the reconstruction of the medieval walls of Girona. In Girona, portion of these walls have been destroyed during the urban development of the city. The portion of the walls that do not exist anymore, however, are documented in the municipality archives through maps, interviews, videos, documents. All this is packaged, processed with AI technologies in order to reconstruct in 3D what does not exist and to put it together with the physical representation of the portion of the walls that are still there. In Bibract, that is an archaeological site in Burgundy, a sales site where also Julius Caesar was sitting, writing the Bello Gallico. An archaeological research center is operating with the museum, with the application of the EUreka3D-XR scenarios. We will deliver an XR narrative of the excavation in process in the site. The third scenario is developed in Paphos, in Cyprus, to give a new life to St. Neophytos and his monks in the Englistra, where the saint is buried. So the monks and the saint will come out from the frescoes and will tell the story of their life in the cave. But tools and application scenarios are not enough. The third line of development of EUreka3D-XR continues the work that we have started already in EUreka3D with capacity building events. And here I would like to mention the next event that will take place in September in Brussels, and 3 weekly appointments delivered as a program of training for cultural heritage professionals that is developed in collaboration with the International Council of Archives. And the 3 weekly appointments will take place online on the 19th of November, 26th of November, 3rd of December. The latest event that we ran in Florence last week was another successful experience, promoted and recorded with an article that appeared on the national newspaper La Repubblica in Italy, so with a very good resonance, hosted by the historical archives of the European Union in Florence. So a rich program of events where we are trying to tell the story of what we have done with the tools and scenarios in extended reality and the data hub based on EGI elements, building blocks.